So, hi, I'm Kelly Sayre. I am the president of the Diamond Arrow Group, and I live in central Minnesota. My job, my passion is I help women build confidence in their personal safety skills so that they can learn how to be more present and aware and avoid as much potentially threatening situations as possible. I got started in this work completely on a fluke. And it was a offhanded comment at the end of a women's personal safety self-defense class saying, the last thing you want to do is get into a physical altercation. You need to be more situationally aware. But they never talked about what situational awareness was. What does that mean? What am I looking for? How do I know I'm looking for the right things? And if I see something, well, then what? And the more questions I asked, the less answers I found. So I started my journey of learning and then realized that other women might want this information. So I started sharing what I was learning. It's a continuous journey of learning. I am by no means know all, but I'm happy to share what I've learned so that other women can start their journeys to building more confidence in themselves wherever they're starting from. I'm so excited to come speak at a Girl and a Gun national conference because the room will be filled with women who are already on their journey of personal safety. They already prioritize their personal safety. They're open to learning. This is not going to be a completely new concept. Instead, it's going to be helping to sharpen, as I like to say, their skills. So it's almost like the next step for them. And it's growing and it's giving them a new perspective, a different perspective. And my goal is that every attendee walks away with at least one takeaway, something new, a different way of approaching something, and how they can implement it in their daily life immediately. The advice that I would give to someone attending the conference for a first time is let go of any fear of being the newbie, of being a rookie, because everyone started from some starting point with little to no knowledge. That's how you learn, is we take that first step. So if you're going to be new, if this is your first time attending, just come and realize that everyone is there to learn and everyone is there to help each other as well. So you can talk with other women, you can network with other women who are there, and they have probably been where you are and they want to help you. This isn't a group, an organization that is all about helping one another and improving, starting from wherever you're at. I think one thing that women often overlook when it comes to their personal safety is understanding that they're coming from a place of strength. They already have the skills that they need to improve their personal safety, but they've used those skills in other ways. For example, women are scientifically proven better at reading tiny nonverbal facial expressions and accurately associating them with the correct emotion. We're better at reading body language. We're better at sensing an energy shift in people or in a room. And so for me, it's don't overlook that you are already amazing at this because you notice the instant your friend walks in a room and she's having a bad day. She doesn't have to say anything. She just walks in and you're like, "What's up?" And if she says, "I'm fine," you're like, "No, you're not. What's going on?" Kind of a joking or a socially hilarious example that we use a lot of times is if we get our hair done, a lot of times our male partners don't notice for a long time, but our girlfriends will notice right away. And part of improving your personal safety is being alert, being aware, being present. And so I like to remind women you're coming from a place of strength and you're not broken. You don't need fixing. You simply need sharpening and to understand how to use those skills from the perspective of your personal safety. One of the main things that I'm excited for the women who attend my lecture to experience is to recognize and have the mindset shift from perhaps paranoia or fear of something bad happening to them or fear of not being able to do something or not recognizing situational awareness, an early threat, is shifting that to that curiosity and strength instead of the fear. So instead of paranoia, it's curiosity. Again, it's going into that mindset of coming from a strength. Is you already have so much information in your environment, and you trusting your intuition is so key. And I'm going to give you the tools and the knowledge so that you recognize those signals faster and you learn to trust your intuition more deeply, because you understand that your intuition is your secret sauce. It is a tool that you were born with, and no one perhaps has been able to explain it in a way that you can relate to. And so now you're going to have not only the knowledge and tools, but you're also going to have the words and the verbiage, the articulation. So instead of saying that they're being creepy, what about their behavior is creepy? Maybe they're staring too long. Maybe they're standing too close. Maybe they're making comments that are making you uncomfortable. All of those things would fall under an umbrella of creepy, but when you're able to articulate exactly the behavior that's making you feel uncomfortable, that's when you start to be able to enforce your boundaries better, to be able to communicate if you need to relay this information to someone else, whether that's in a working environment and you need to report behavior to HR, whether you need to make a report of suspicious behavior to, let's say, law enforcement or dispatch. Being able to articulate and use the vocabulary that's objective, that's factual, that's also actionable. The only downside to me only getting an hour at a Girl and a Gun National Conference is I have so many things I could say. So the best way to find me, get in touch with me, follow along as I continue to learn and share more information is to go to our website, thediamondarrowgroup.com. Get our information there, get in touch with me there, get on our email notification list. We don't send out regular newsletters, so we only send an email when we have something to tell you, whether that's a training opportunity or Kelly's going to be somewhere and you can come meet me, or hey, we're doing this new rollout of this, new training or new opportunity. And social medias. We are on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, we're on TikTok. So wherever you are, we are trying to be there too. So you can follow and get daily advice, daily, what would you do if scenario training. And it's not in a fear mongering or a jump scare way. It's saying, hey, if this situation happened, here's ways to think about it. Here's ways to think about how you might handle it, things you could say, things you could do. And again, prevention isn't always glamorous, but if you get home at the end of the day safe and sound to your loved ones, that's the ultimate win.